right. No one's by phone, all right. Acknowledge work product transmittals. Can't talk tonight. June budget status report.
We included a nice summary of that report with certain questions on what's in the packet.
Any questions for Jessica?
Not for me.
Just want to make a motion to acknowledge.
I'll make that motion to acknowledge.
I'll second.
On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Tip 1 and tip 2 detail reports for June.
The only really large transactions in notice are the Weston Avenue units that project is underway. So we have large things for Weston Avenue, and we did do some street work kind of by quicker. That project over there is where we could also. That's all that's really noticeable in that type of points.
Any questions for Jessica?
I read something, I thought it was in the city pages where they said American County government is going to start looking into TIF districts. And I was wondering, is anybody from the village of Weston going to be involved with that group, or is a representative on the county board from Weston going to be involved and then report back what's going on?
We have several representatives.
Yeah, so Jasper, who's on the trustee, did not vote in favor of that.
Oh,
So, but I think they just want to kind of get a feel for what's going on. I don't know if they've met yet. They might have formed it more for maybe other communities. Ours, we have quite a nice success rate for ours. So
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that really do not understand the tip in itself. I mean, and then to me, there's like rumors around how it's handled and if it just is used. I think if they really look into it, they'll realize it's, it's a good thing.
So one of the things they really don't like is how long it's extended. Like the TIF's only supposed to be open. We're supposed to close ours 2021. But we got that special legislation. A lot of people don't like that because it's keeping that off the tax for that much longer.
right.
And I don't know, it was kind of low key, but in the new budget that was passed, when we close our TIF, we get about 50% that we can apply and increase our levy with the new law. I think we get 10%. It's a huge reduction. I think that's going to be pretty significant in the future because you're building this TIF, so you're creating a lot of need for more services and things. And when you end up closing these TIFs, these services are going to be needed. You're not going to get the additional values of money for those services. So it'll be interesting. I did find one that I wanted to point out from the forest. In the development agreement, we did issue a check for $45,302 from the forest. That was one of our grants that we paid for in June.
Okay.
Of course, really, with the TIF, we're paying for the services now.
Yeah.
So I mean, it won't really change anything other than it would have been nice if we would have gotten more money to pay for those services.
You have to remember, like, we have quite a bit of admin expense that we TIF, which helps take it out of the general fund. So when our TIF closes, it can accept those additional expenses back.
Right.
So there is a little bit of give and take there. They'll really, when you do, and if you ever create a TIF, looking at allocating administrative expenses to that, you will have to make sure that you kind of guesstimate the value that you're going to get at the end. And those administrative expenses better not increase that, or else you're going to be in a world of hurt once everything's closed out.
How are we as far as the?
We're really good now. We have the old TIF law to work with.
Oh, okay.
We'll get like 400,000 back on the roll. We have like 150 of admin that keep coming back to the general fund to get absorbed.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, can I have a motion to acknowledge? Motion by Dave,
I have a second by me.
Second by Mark. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay, educational presentations and reports, anything?
No,
Alrighty, policy issues, discussion recommendations. Item 8, discussion and recommendation, utility cash reserve policy.
so I worked with Michael on this policy, and the purpose of the policy is to make sure the village has the utilities have adequate cash in the bank account in case of an emergency. We kind of separate into different things, operating cash flows in case there's an operating need that has the demand for more cash than what is really budgeted for. Capital reserves, this is money in our bank account that with the intention of buying new capital items. And then third is emergency reserves, making sure you have enough money in your bank account in case there's an emergency or there's a disaster or anything. We want to make sure that we can have the funds available to make sure everything gets taken care of properly.
So is it,
Always a good idea to set money aside, just as in case, have a reserve.
right, I think if it gets too much, then they should put it back to do
Well, don't
on
they
projects.
recalculate it periodically to keep it
Michael,
where it needs to be?
you want to explain that?
The, what question?
The reserve for the utility cash reserve,
Yeah,
you calculate that so it's not, doesn't keep building, it's.
yeah, so it's based off of like, our asset value, our depreciation, so as our asset, so a well today costs different than a well 10 years ago, 20 years ago, so yeah, I mean, that'd be a number that would, change within, every year, probably not a whole lot, but
But that isn't the same as the like the 25% or whatever that the public service says we have to collect over and above for expenses. The 25%, I can't remember. I thought it was 25, 20.
We have a PSC.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Wrong.
PSC determines an acceptable rate based on your rate of return. So they have a formula to get a rate of return number. And usually it's 5, 6, and above for the recommended rate of return. And then the PSC, with the PSC report that we file yearly, they pull the numbers off of that, calculate that. And if your rate of return currently is or is not that's how they can determine if you are eligible for a rate of return. The rate of return is separate from your unrestricted cash.
Well, that's what I was getting at, because I thought that's not the same as the,
No.
okay.
So currently, we do not have a policy. We have $5.6 million in our bank account for the water utility. So what we are looking at doing is creating a policy that we can follow that maybe would allow us to use some of that money in our bank account for the capital projects that we're planning.
Oh, yeah.
So
that
that's
kind
why
of-
we created this policy, and I was hoping the committee could review this and let us know your recommendations or suggestions. In
We
my
were up there.
RC, I stated there's a lot of philosophies when it comes to reserves. Some people feel that funds collected now should be held on to, and then when a project comes up, use those funds for that project. The other philosophy is this money they're being taken in and they should be used to pay for the current assets, meaning that let's borrow for these assets that we're putting in our utility, and then the current users should be paying for these assets through their rate. So there's a couple different, you take the money now and use it for current, or you take the money from your current customers and use it for future. So that's a couple different philosophies, and it depends what the committee really feels is better. Obviously, there's no right answer, but there's a couple ways to look at it. So we created the policy, very conservative. We're recommending that we should have $3.2 million in our bank account. that make up the capital replacement, your operation and contingency, and your emergency. So I guess my question to the committee is, do you agree or not agree? Do we want more money, less money, and what's the reason for that?
I agree.
I,
And you and Michael came together with this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
You had a similar policy though for the sewage.
Yeah, so we just use water as an example.
Sewers on that.
Yep.
That's sewer,
Yeah,
and
because
then
that way-
there's stormwater.
Yeah, you would keep a decent reserve, but not you keeping that, like now you said we had 5 point something.
We had 5.6 as of the end of June.
Right, yeah, you know. I think it's.
So we still have on reserve, what, 2 point something?
2.38.
Yep, okay.
Okay. What's the board's?
Is this set for action today? All three of
You
these?
can, if you want.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve. Is it acknowledge or approve?
It is approved and
Right.
then we'll bring it to the board next
Yep,
month because
okay.
it's on the board agenda in case there's.
Yep.
a discussion.
Okay.
A motion by Mark, second by Dave. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, so carried. Discussion and recommendation, simplified water rate increase. Now, that's something different.
We actually had this last year, so the PSC allows for a utility that is not with the rate of return, meeting the required rate of return as determined by the PSC for the last official rate study, which was done in 18. Yeah, and so in 2018, the PSC determined our official rate of return that we should be getting based on future expenses and revenues. With that, they looked at our current numbers from 2022, and we were not meeting that rate of return. With that, the PSC allows the municipalities that qualify to raise the rate 8%. The 8% is based on the inflation at the time that they determine this amount. This is the highest it's ever been, usually it's about 3%. So what staff is asking, we're asking for approval to complete the simplified rate of return increase and submit it to the PSC.
But we haven't had a rate increase for 5 years, right?
No, we had
No,
we had a simplified rate increase last year, folks.
4. Yep.
Okay, so is this gonna get us kind of in line with surrounding municipalities?
That is,
I mean, I don't think we,
There was commentary about that at the public works committee meeting from trustee Zagani, acknowledging that really, I mean, yes, you look at what maybe some other communities are, but every community's different, it's got its own situation.
well, I know, but I don't wanna be the high end, but I don't wanna be the low end either.
Dave, if you look at this,
It's keeping us up
Yeah.
with that, it's keeping us up with increases in costs, and that's why the rate of return on PFC is showing some uptick here from last time we did this.
We do the third lowest to the fifth lowest.
correct, yeah. So we go from in between Stevens Point and Clover to in between Crownwater and Edgar in the area.
Yep.
You know, Schofield, Rothschild, Mosinee, Wausau, Richville.
but everybody's got different issues with
Yeah.
their utilities, so you can't do a real comparison to.
Yeah, but it's kind of nice, for me anyway, personally, to kind of know where we fall in the
Right.
grand scheme of things with our neighbors, both
Right.
in this county as well as, you know, like, okay, Stevens Point, Portage County. Know where we fall in, and with municipalities about our size, you know.
Was that about 20 municipalities? Close?
Yeah.
18, 19, somewhere? And we're fifth the lowest. Are you looking for motion?
21 then.
I'd make a motion to accept that rate increase as presented.
Motion for Houston.
I'll second it unless you want to. He has his hand up. Dave got his
Okay,
hand
that
up.
one.
Give him a hand.
Yep, yeah.
On the question, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Discussion and recommendation, stormwater rate increase. This one.
So we had a master plan study done by Spring. You know, the study, and included in that study was a study of the rates. And they had the rates there, and you want to talk about the study more?
Sure, so, part of the Wisconsin River phosphorus study that was done in 2019, they modeled the Wisconsin River Basin and a model that said this is how much phosphorus that all these contributing watersheds need to remove in order to make our lakes, rivers healthier. So the village of Weston, it's broken down into various watersheds, whether it's a drainage area to Cedar Creek, the Wisconsin River directly, Big Sandy Creek, Old Jimmy Creek, and the Eau Claire River. So all those drainage basins get looked at individually to see what we can do to reduce phosphorus loadings heading to those areas. So we need to come up with an implementation plan to show how we would, address that moving forward. So every 5 years, the village of Weston, so the first permit cycle, we have to create our plan showing this is what we're going to do to reduce our phosphorus loadings. And then our next plan has to show, this is how we achieve a 10% reduction. So every time, say we're 100 pounds off, we have to reduce that. So the next permit cycle would be only 90 pounds off, and then 81 pounds off. We have to keep having a 10% reduction with every new permit cycle to meet the DNR requirements. So some of the big projects that are out there are creating larger stormwater basin ponds. One in particular we talked about with the board as part of the Business 51 project is a pond right at the Highway 29 on-ramp at Business 51 by Coral Lanes there. We currently have a 72-inch pipe that drains under Volkman Street from the Hughes Avenue area, and then eventually goes directly into the Wisconsin River. We're able to create a pond there. We can get that's nearly the end point of that discharge. So we get a lot of really good treatment, for that one in particular. So as we look at those projects, then it comes down to how do we fund that? We'll apply for grants, we'll do those things, but our stormwater utility rate, for the most part, has been unchanged since it was implemented in 2004. At that time it was $48. We went to $50, I believe it was in 2017. So we increased it by 50 cents a quarter, $2 a year. Our stormwater utility, go back to where we're at with our fund balance reserve, the stormwater utilities, it isn't, negative. We don't have enough money currently in that fund balance to meet what we say we should have in it. So as Strand looked at what our rates should be moving forward, there's the do a little bit each year option. There's the maybe one big jump to start building up that fund balance, and then we take on projects. You have less borrowing, less debt that you're taking on, and you can kind of creep that way. One is we can do nothing until we have to take on a project and then figure out what that rate is. So I guess we just kind of want to start that discussion on what is the plan, what is our philosophy, and how we want to achieve.
So this would be moving it from 50 to 70.
If we want to choose that,
Right.
70 is kind of the statewide average
Right.
for it. So if we
So
said
50
that's
to
too
70.
much.
4 times a year or once a year? 4 times.
So
Quarterly?
that'd be the yearly charge.
Or yearly charge, so $20 one time. Right.
Yeah, well, so it'd be $5 a quarter. So
Right.
instead of $12,
Okay.
the 17.
Trying to wrap my head around it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whatever you thought, you were.
Are there any ARPA funds that could fund that partially? Left, any ARPA funds left?
Yeah, but this is an ongoing.
But this is sewer, right?
This is.
No, this is
So,
stormwater.
okay, so this is stormwater and, I think we've determined that ARPA funds should be used, so that it touches everybody in the community.
Well, this does.
And, well, not really, would it?
Yeah,
some people are
I'm not, I have absolutely nothing out by
That's
me,
what I
but I pay the fee.
Yeah,
There is
Well, thank
storm
you.
sewer on town.
well, thank you. I want
By
to
the church.
publicly thank Barb for paying that fee. She
Yeah.
gets nothing for
nothing to
it,
it.
so.
Gotta grow.
We kind of have a different idea on the ARPA right now, I guess, so.
But I mean, this is
Yeah.
ongoing
Yep,
expenses.
yeah, and it'll
that
be
would
ongoing.
not-
But it's just to get a boost up,
Yeah.
from what it is to a little more right now.
Yeah,
I
But
guess-
less increases later.
Personally, I'd rather just see the fee
Yep.
one time than every year giving a little
Yep.
increase.
agree.
Personally,
I agree.
I pay it once a year.
And thank you again. Are
Okay,
you putting the
what's
question
your
out?
pleasure?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to take it from 50 to 70, $5 a quarter, $20 increase
Second,
by these, motion by Bonnie, second by these.
no question.
Okay, but I, yeah, I just have a question. The
No,
the
no.
price isn't right.
What that proposal would look like, which we already asked before. It's totally up to you.
Well, I mean, I know you're kind of laughing, but
Type of thing.
these three are not the same. So we voted on the first two, but not the third one. I guess I don't understand.
What do you mean? Mr.
We're on a
Well-
cash reserve policy
Mhm.
on all
Well,
the.
let me see here.
with the
We had
first-
utility cash reserve, yep, and then simplified water, and then stormwater. So the stormwater was not set to vote on, but the first two were. Just explain that to me. If it's not, then we'll forward it.
I mean, it's on there if you're comfortable with it, I guess. We're thinking,
Each one is discussion and recommendation on all three,
Discussion and recommendation.
yeah.
all three. All three.
That's
Yeah,
to
so-
increase
So
it
if we
$5.
don't want to vote on the first two, then we won't, and then we won't vote on any of them,
Can have more discussion at the board level,
whatever you want.
if need be, and that's where the board anyway.
Right, because this is our
Well,
Our
it will get
recommendation,
discussion. It will
actually.
get discussion,
Right.
because we're forwarding on to this.
Yeah.
right.
But it's gonna be kind of held at a 70 versus a 90 or a 60 or lowering it to a 30. Okay,
And this is to increase it
Mhm.
$5 a quarter.
I'm comfortable with this.
And I am with the second as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Resolution and ordinances, we haven't any. Future items, next meeting date, Monday, August 21st at 4:30. Okay, yeah, never mind.
Mhm.
Topics for future meetings, budget, anything else?
Do you want anything else? Just let us know. We'll put in.
Okay, I was just kind of looking here. We got all the regular normal trip reports and all that stuff.
I wouldn't mind having a little synopsis on the attorney bills. That'd be nice. So, thank you.
Anything else? Remarks from staff? Nothing. Remarks from committee members?
Nothing from me.
Yeah, like, for next month, it's the meeting time is 4:30. I thought it was before. Like, did we bump that up 15 minutes at some
So
point
we
before I got
bump
my
it up
agenda?
15 minutes before closing.
I'm sorry?
We bump it up 15 minutes when there's a tourism meeting.
Okay, so when did you know
That's
that?
why.
We approved it at a meeting last year.
Yeah,
Okay,
you probably didn't see all that,
I
but
did.
yeah.
I mean,
But you were here 3 minutes if it was 4:30.
oh yeah,
So you
I
showed
was,
4:25.
I was right on time.
Yeah, if it was 4:30, yeah, I know. I
Okay.
know. When I saw you walk in, that's why I asked you.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else?
Mhm.
Announcements? Okay, motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, please. Second by Beeson.
All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? We adjourn at 4:42.
I think a couple seconds, well, we got John in the audience.